Here we are in the Hotang Gallery of the British Museum, surrounded by these incredible images and sculptures from ancient India and all the stories that are connected to them. These stories, these millennia-old myth and folklore, contained almost the entire intellectual stock of the age. They taught the philosophies, the sciences, even the languages were taught through these stories. And these stories were then further visualized and translated into images like these. Take, for instance, this one here of Mithra. Mithra, the sun god. Mithra, also known as the eternal friend. Bright, blazing, glorious Mithra, bringer of daylight and energy, giver of life, welcomed, worshipped, adored by everyone who saw him every morning. Everyone, that is, except his wife, Sanjana. Poor Sanjana had had a very hard life with Mithra. She had spent her entire married life squinting up at Mithra, looking at him like this because of the light that was so bright. And this had caused not only wrinkles to appear just around there, but also had given her the most awful headaches. Sanjana decides she's had enough. She is going to run away, but she is married to the sun himself. His light reaches everywhere. He would just find her and bring her back. However, if she can get another woman to swap places with her, the way she figures it, Mithra is so cocooned in his own light, he's so blinded by his own blaze, he would never notice that there was a different woman living with him. Chaya, the goddess of shadows, agrees to swap places with Sanjana. Mithra had absolutely no idea for years and years that he was living with the wrong woman. To give him his due, however, the day that he found out that his wife Sanjana was missing, Mithra decided to go out and look for her and bring her back. There was just one problem. Sanjana had got used to a life free of headaches. She liked living in the little quiet leafy glade. She wouldn't go back. Mithra wouldn't return to the heavens without her. The entire earth was plunged into darkness. Would this be the end? Happily, Sanjana's father, who is also the heavens architect, comes to the rescue. He offered to chop off 1/8 of the sun's energy. This would make the light a little bit easier to bear. However, what do you do with this amazing energy? It was too powerful to contain. It was impossible to destroy. Once again, there's a little bit of panic. Once again, Sanjana's father, the architect of the heavens, comes to the rescue. He took all this energy that belonged to the sun, and from this, he created weapons for all the gods. Krishna's discus, Shiva's trident, even Durga's swords. All was well in the heavens. But here on earth, there had been complete panic. Perhaps the story is a result of a prolonged eclipse or a similar phenomena. The worshippers of Mithras had lost him once. They were not going to lose him again. So the worshippers and the followers of the sun god decide to follow in the path of the sun, traveling westwards in an effort to keep up with the great life giver. The cult of Mitra, or rather Mithras, as he came to be known in the Western world, arrived in Persia, and from here traveled on to ancient Rome. In Rome, Mithras, in his role as the eternal friend, as the light giver, became one of the most important gods of the Roman pantheon. Eventually, of course, Mithras was to end up right here in a temple of his own in a little street in the city of London, brought here by the Roman soldiers to the ancient Britons. And his was a cult that was very popular and was to last for many, many years. But in the meantime, if you were to take a short walk from India to Rome, or rather from the Indian galleries to the Roman galleries, right here in the British Museum, you could actually see an image of the Roman Mithras as he slays a demon bull in his role as friend god to protect the people. Every room in the museum is filled with hundreds of stories. Stories about people, their lives, their imaginations from across the world and even across time. All you have to do is step in and listen to the stories.